We are the Community Gardens team with Sustainability Action Research. We are Jack, Jonah, Amy, Claire, Julia, Jesse, Jada, and our stakeholders are Mark and Antoine. So we were all really excited to get started on this project, but we had a lot of topics we wanted to include. We ended up landing on the research question, how can our university garden infrastructure be integrated into existing food and health related resources at UCLA in order to optimize the social and environmental impacts to its students, staff, faculty, and campus. And we had a couple of goals that went along with that, but ultimately we wanted to educate UCLA students, staff, and faculty on the benefits of gardening and local food sources to draw interest for the HCI community gardens and promote healthy living.
So our project has shown us the power of community gardens in improving students' health and well-being, and also providing local, healthy, nutritious food and access to basic need resources. But we realized that there really is a lack of awareness when it comes to the HCI garden. So we really wanted to change that. UCLA already has some sustainable goals relating to food, and expanding the community garden program at UCLA would allow them to hone in on these goals and even create more ambitious ones for the future. Finally, we worked with a lot of different stakeholders and groups on campus related to food and gardening, and we realized that most of them have similar goals, but they work in silos and independently. So we think it's really important for them in the future to collaborate so that they can have a bigger cumulative impact on campus.
So to inform our approach on how to expand campus engagement with the garden, we recognized it was crucial to have a foundational understanding of the garden environment as it already was. We saw this as twofold. First, understanding who the plot holders are, and then second, understanding the plots themselves. Thus, we conducted a plot holder survey to recover demographic information, information on plot holder background in gardening, as well as current plot output. And second, we took 5 soil samples to be analyzed by the Wallace Labs in El Segundo. 3 were from plots in the garden. One was our plot, which we were growing food in. Second, a thriving plot with lots of produce. And third, a empty plot. And the other 2 were from compost piles that the garden utilizes.
On our survey of plot holders, we received 43 responses representing 23 of 31 plots, and we gathered some interesting results. Overall, our respondents indicated they would like more access to online gardening guides and would benefit from more frequent educational workshops and community days in the garden to improve their plot's yield. Implementing these recommendations would allow the garden to better achieve its mission of addressing food insecurity on campus because plot holders are generally interested and willing to donate a percentage of their produce, but low crop yields are a barrier to doing so. As mentioned, we conducted soil samples through the Wallace Labs with funding from TGIF. The soil data yielded clear results. The plot's soil is generally healthy, but highly or slightly alkaline. Recommendations include aerating the soil more, allowing the soil to dry longer between irrigation cycles, and adding less compost. With these minor changes, the soil could be dramatically improved, which would increase plot yield and productivity.
This quarter, we've transitioned from a more technical stance to an educational and outreach focus by developing an online presence through social media. Our Instagram account aims to educate UCLA community about gardening tips, environmental crafts to maintain good mental health, as well as healthy cooking options. And we've also maintained our relationship with the UCLA Teaching Kitchen and HCI community by way of virtual communication. And our community gardens research was recently featured in the HCI newsletter. And we're also helping to develop 3 lesson plans for the Geffen Academy new food science course that will be offered for 9th through 12th grade high schoolers in the fall of 2021. And we hope to continue that work in developing the course if our team continues next year.
Since April, our page has grown to 126 followers. We have posted home gardening tips, art activities with plants, and simple plant-based recipes. We have also created 3 lesson plans that will be incorporated in a sustainability course at Geffen Academy. Lastly, even though we did not have access to our plot at the community garden on campus, Mark, one of our stakeholders, has helped us donate produce to the UCLA Teaching Kitchen throughout the quarter. The Teaching Kitchen has used our produce in a number of online cooking workshops. In a breakfast workshop last month, spicy mixed greens from our plot were incorporated into a delicious-looking frittata.
So some of the barriers and challenges that we've come across since starting the project was at the beginning of winter quarter, we took a little bit longer than anticipated in developing our research question because we were interested in many aspects of community gardening and addressing food sustainability on campus. Another challenge was we are the smallest UC campus in area, so that limits the garden space that we're allotted. And then because of the COVID-19 pandemic, we were not able to take the recommendations that the Wallace Laboratories gave us to make those gardening adjustments. And then we wanted to later analyze the extent of improved soil health and increased productivity. And then lastly, one of the original project goals was to help the garden's plot holders understand how they can optimize their plot's harvest potential, but without access to the garden, we modified this goal to utilizing digital resources to help teach students how they can start growing fresh produce at home.
Our project is important to the food system at UCLA because we have laid out the groundwork for future improvements. The information we collected from plot holders will help increase the productivity of the community garden. We also strengthen the connection between food organizations on campus, including the Teaching Kitchen and Food Closet. Collaboration between these groups and the community garden is paramount to improving food education and the accessibility of healthy foods at UCLA. Our project is also significant as we are working to create a better blueprint for community gardens on school campuses. Much of our project was based on the good work of other gardening initiatives from around the UC system. However, we know there is more to be done in creating a truly sustainable campus food system, especially at UCLA.
We see great potential in continuing our research next year, and if it were to continue, our goals would encompass growing and focusing on the community aspect of community gardening, as well as continuing to create the curriculum for the Geffen Academy. We've really enjoyed working together to create a sustainable change at UCLA and want to thank everyone who has helped us reach these goals the past 2 quarters. Thank you so much.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Give it up, team. How long was that? Oh, wait, did I stop the recording? No, I did not.